Hey there, everybody, and welcome to the longest Talon. Comics. Um, Quick little brief before the video starts. Alex made this of his own free will. There was no external encouragement. There was no pressure. There was no pushing. He is just really passionate about today's subject and wanted to share it with you all. So I hope you enjoy this newest episode of the longest Talon, the longest comics. I'm Ethan, by the way. So enjoy.
Hey y'all, it's me, Alex from the Longest Cosplays, coming back with another unboxing video. I just received this today. My buddy Ethan at That Cherry Miro, the guy responsible for a lot of my Electric Blue Superman collection, and the guy responsible for the metric fuck ton of, Spider-Man books, that I got at Heroes Minicon this year. He is probably the world's biggest Talon fan. I don't know how this happened, but he told me he was shipping me a bunch of Talon books. Talon's a DC character, and he had a run in the New 52. He told me he was shipping me this package, and I was like, okay. I didn't think much of it. I didn't think he was being serious. Clearly he was. But I want to just take a note here of the fact that the side of the box says "Handle with Care, Talon" inside in the impact font, and I think that's really funny. I don't think there's much else on this thing, so yeah, this might take a minute for me to open up, so I will cut back to when this is all cut up. All right. We got the box open. Unlike a lot of the AOKs that I do, also my cat is very interested in this box. So thank you, Ethan. Unlike a lot of these AOKs, I actually know most of what is in here. I'm pretty sure most of this is just Talon books. I think there's 3 or so issues that aren't included. He sent me almost the entire damn thing. So let's get into this box, shall we? There's a piece of paper here, but there's also a letter addressed to me. Written in the 90s Spider-Man font, which is interesting. It says, "Alex, you are about. I have not been awake very long. Reading is hard. Alex, you are about to embark on a journey that not many people come back from. A journey full of fear, betrayal, and talons. Enjoy it while you can, for once it is over, you will beg for more. Worst part being, there is no more. I wish you luck in completing the set, Ethan." And, there's Talon in the background. I didn't even, notice that until afterward, but yeah, that's Talon. And then this just says, "Beware the Court of Owls, time watches all the time." Reading is hard. "Beware the Court of Owls, that watches all the time, ruling Gotham from a shadowed perch, behind granite and lime. They watch you at your heart, they watch you in your bed. Speak not a whispered word of them, or they'll send the Talon for your head." A little scared. And he actually took time to bubble wrap the entire... look at this. It is all fucking Talon. And he bubble wrapped it. I actually appreciate the bubble wrapping. That... And another thing of Gemini mailers. I will be sure to reuse this as well. This is my second package that I can now reuse, so that's great. That's actually really great. If you ever send me a package or a thing of comics, I love having those boxes because I have a lot of stuff I want to send to people, and boxes can be expensive with how many people I want to ship things to. So please send me stuff in those. But let's get these unravel here. Like I said, I know what to expect here. I've not seen many of these covers before, so the cover experience will be new, but the book experience won't be, I guess. Like I said, I think there's like 3 or so issues that aren't included. I think it's like 12, 15, and 17 or something like that for what he said. And he sent these all in opposite things. So I'm actually going to put it this way, because I like my things displaying this way. Yeah, so 12 is not there. Okay, so it might be 12, 16, and 17 then. Because... yeah. So let's get into it, shall we? Talon, issue 0. I actually do like collecting these, New 52, like, issue 0 covers. Just whenever I can. I've prioritized, like, some of the Green Lantern and Superman ones. But I do like picking these up. Note that, a lot of these are written by Scott Snyder, or some of these are written by Scott Snyder. Of Absolute Batman and New 52 Batman fame. He will be at Heroes Con, and no, I will not be getting these signed. I do not want to stand in his long-ass line for a signature just to walk up and be like, hey guys, here's Talon, you want to sign this for me? No, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to be mean. We got issue 1 here. And yeah, there you go, from the pages of Batman. Now, I've read New 52 Batman now. I read it at the beginning of the year. Don't recall this guy showing up very much. Tomb of the Unworthy, issue number 2. It's actually not a bad cover, I can't lie. Some Scott Snyder goodness, too. I do like Scott Snyder's writing. I do genuinely like Scott Snyder's writing. This is issue 3, and I am now noticing that this is the same cover that he pulled for this scary-ass letter. So, you know. Issue number 4. Court has sentenced you to die. That is like a very classic, like Silver Age style, remark on the cover. I like that. Trapped in the Depths of Gotham, issue number 5. Like, this is weird series. Like, up until he started spamming conversation about Talon at Heroes Minicon, I've never heard of this guy. Like, and also apart from, like, what I've read in New 52 Batman, hi Kitty, he just, like, he loves sitting out my window. Apart from, like, what I've read in New 52 Batman, and apart from, like, him just non-stop talking about Talon, I don't know much about this guy. So, this actually will be very fun for me to read. And I do like the Court of Owls saga. I don't know if it's, like, my favorite Batman storyline, but I do like it. Issue number 7 right there. Issue number 8. No more Scott Snyder credit on these ones. Stopped at issue 7. Okay, interesting. Issue number 9. Trying to make sure I, like, go through this fast, because I'm also, on top of this, I'm going to be reviewing the series. Issue number 10. The Bane of Owls. I actually really like this cover. That is actually a really sick cover. More Bane. Bane's army out to kill. Issue 11. Yes, I am going to be reviewing this run. Because it is so short and I can feasibly do it. I will be reading all of this. It will probably take me like a day or so. Because I am going to be out of town Saturday and Sunday. So it'll probably like take me a minute to like get back to this. So you're gonna see like a crazy time jump. Issue 13. So yeah, I will be forced to read some of these issues online. And honestly, probably for my completionist mindset, I will probably seek out the rest of the books that I need. Yeah, issue 13. I actually do like this cover as well. Issue 14. The servant becomes the master. Also, okay, I can't even lie. Like, some of these are actually very cool covers. I can't even lie. Issue 15, and this is the last one in the set that I received. But yeah, again, no more Scott Snyder. He only did like 7 issues. That's kind of sad. I get 7 issues of Scott Snyder Talon goodness. Unless he like came back for like the last few issues, but I don't think that happened. So yeah, we got a bunch of Talon books today. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be reading this and reviewing it. I'm gonna take like as many notes as I possibly can on this, and I will give my 100% unbiased review. It will probably take me a few days to like get back to this, because on top of this, I'm currently editing another like AOK video that will probably be up like this weekend, and then I have a Silver Age book review, or I guess book discussion. I don't really know what to call it, but I have a Silver Age book video in the works right now. So I will cut back to like next week or something when I am done reading and jotting notes down for this, and I will probably look much better too. So yeah, I will see you guys then. Alright, guys, it has been, as I'm recording this, it has been 8 days since I received this stack of Talon books. I did finish reading all of them. You will see that there's a book in front of me here where I took a bunch of notes. I took so many notes on, especially the first like 8 or so issues. I'm not talking about these individually because, frankly put, like I've sat with this for a minute now, and to say that I don't want to say this was a bad book. It wasn't awful. I just think there was so much potential to this. Coming from a guy who's not like too knowledgeable on Batman stuff. Like I've read a lot of Batman books by now. Like I've read all of New 52, which this is a spin-off from. I've read quite a few of the the well-known stories or whatever. But since New 52 Batman, like that is where this is coming from. In fact, they even mark it from the pages of Batman. Coming off of like the Court of Owls saga, there is so much potential in this book. It didn't do anything for me. Like, the best issue, sadly, is the first one. Which I guess if there were to be any great issue of a new series, it should be the first one. But everything after issue 0 just kind of like... It like goes up and down in quality. Like there's only like 3 or so issues that are close to being as good as this one is. Like the whole story is just like Talon, Calvin, why am I forgetting his name? Whatever, Calvin, the main Talon you follow. He's, recruited by the Court of Owls, and he's doing his thing or whatever. And he kind of realizes after being in there for so long where he's just kind of like, this is not the right thing to do. So he breaks out of that, and eventually he gets like kind of brought back into things. And because he wants to like destroy the Court of Owls, he wants to destroy the Talons and everything else. So like the premise is interesting. Don't get me wrong, the premise is interesting. It didn't hit the marks for me. It really didn't. Scott Snyder is like undoubtedly a great writer. Like I don't want to like shit on Scott Snyder, because I love what he's done on the New 52 Batman and currently Absolute Batman. I love what he's been doing with Batman. This did not keep me interested very long. Especially the last few issues. Because Scott Snyder did away with the book after issue 7, and James Tynion IV kind of continued throughout most of the run. There are a few issues towards the end that weren't written by James. The most notable one, Talon number 15. That is one I don't have in this stack. That was actually shockingly the most interesting issue since number 0. And it follows a completely different Talon, William Cobbs, that you never... You get his origin story, but they don't focus on him. Like, after that point. Because issue 14, I guess Calvin dies or something. Again, Calvin dies throughout, like, I think halfway through this run, and he gets resurrected by the Court of Owls. But, I guess, like, something happens to him again, and then you get an origin story on William Cobbs' Talon, and then issue 16 comes by, and it's like, oh, wait, Calvin is back? Okay, that's great. And then there's another like small little storyline like that lasted 2 issues, like 16 and 17, written by Tim Seeley, which Tim Seeley is a good writer too. I like what he's been doing with the current Masters of the Universe run, and Dark Horse. Love what he's been doing. Great guy, great writer. But again, it just didn't do anything for me. That is like my biggest problem with this, is that this book did, like, I feel like I wasted my time reading these, and it's not, this isn't me I'm not trying to like shit on Ethan's like gig here, like, because I know he also has some thoughts about this, but like it just didn't do anything. It wasn't interesting. Like, I feel like I could have like gotten back my week, or like my several hours of reading Talon. It didn't help that I was also reading, like, Silver Age Iron Man books, like, beside this, and, like, the newer books that I've been getting. So that probably didn't help, like, my enjoyment of Talon, because, like, everything else was just so much better in comparison. But, yeah, it's not... Talon isn't an awful run. Like, you won't read this and think, oh wow, that was the biggest piece of shit I've ever read. It's not that bad. Don't like think that this is bad. It's just, it's not for me. And as I was reading this, like when I went to go like put in my out of 5-star rating on League of Comic Geeks, like apparently like this entire run is like well liked by people. Which, I mean, good for them. I don't know what they read, but I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of like, I was also very confused reading this entire thing. Like there's a segment where Talon and like his little gang like joins Batman Inc. And then they go nowhere with that. Like, they're all invited to, like, Batman Incorporated, but nothing fucking happens from that. And it's like, wait, hold on, you're introducing Batman Inc. again, but you don't see Batman past that issue, by the way. Past that Batman Inc. issue, which, I want to say... Yeah, Talon number 14. You do not see Batman after that. He barely appears in this run to begin with, which makes sense because it's not a Batman title, but... It was just, this was like the biggest nothing burger I've ever like chewed on. Do I suggest you read it? If you can find trades, I guess, go for it. I know there are trades out there of Talon. I would honestly suggest reading it online too, if you really don't feel like buying it. That's what I had to do for several of the issues because they weren't included in the stack. Overall, I'd have to give this like a 2 out of 5 rating. Issue 0. If you decide to read anything from Talon, read issue 0 because it is a legitimately good issue. Like, don't let the entire run discredit it. Like, issue 0, his first appearance. Talon, Calvin Rose is his last name. Calvin Rose. Issue 0, his first appearance. Good issue. I actually suggest reading this. Everything else, though, you can do without. If you like Bane, there's a couple of stories with Bane in it. It's actually a really great cover that features Bane. I believe it is issue 8. It is not issue 8. It is issue 10. Here you go. Issue 10. Amazing. Legitimately amazing Bane cover. I really like this. Too bad he's barely in that fucking issue. Like, too bad he's barely in there. I feel like I remember counting how many times. He appears in 4 pages out of 32 in issue 10. That's how pissed I was, because I wrote it down. But yeah, 2 out of 5 stars. Read it for yourself if you really want to. But yeah, you heard my thoughts. You heard my thoughts on this. Let's pass the mic over to the guy who, made this video possible. Let's go say hi to Ethan real fast. Let's see what he thinks.
So now that we've heard what Alex thinks of Talon, let's hear what I think of Talon. Because cat's out of the bag, you watched the video, I'm the one that has created this whole fucking thing. So, to me, the Talon character is much more interesting than the Talon series. I think Calvin is a really great character. I think Scott Snyder and James Tynion IV really put their all into developing who he is, his sense of self, his sense of worth, his sense of justice. And the best issue is issue 0, the origin of Calvin and his first appearance. I am a big fan of those characters who are bred in a certain way and they decide to, strive off that path and find what's right for them. For Calvin, he was abused as a young boy. He's this master escapist. He fled to Haley's Circus. The court found him, made him their warrior, and he did it for a while and realized that what he was doing wasn't right. So, he ran off and did his own thing and lived his own life and had his own friends, his own love, but ultimately got pulled back into it after, the court really reemerged in the Batman title. So this whole story of Calvin being pulled back in to dismantle the court, but still being played, was very interesting to me. And I like his supporting cast, and I love the little ragtag team that they get, and I love that he gets to talk to Batman and meet Batman and eventually become part of Batman Inc. And really the unfortunate part of the book is that it goes nowhere. There's this big door that's open wide for Calvin and his crew, and he does make some appearances he makes an appearance during Gothtopia, a story in Detective Comics, as well as making a brief appearance in Batman Eternal, since that was written by that whole crew of Snyder and Tynion and Kyle Higgins and all those guys. So he does appear in those, but those are his last appearances. He has nothing else. And I think that it's a real missed opportunity to not have Calvin be a character in the Bat family still. Especially because now the court is nostalgic to a lot of people. I mean, I know they are to me. I started collecting comics and really being invested in comics during this time. I've always read comics, but I was buying ongoing right after the Night of the Owls ended. So I was reading those back issues, catching up, and then buying everything after. So the fact that they keep going back to the court story, especially with, Nightwing and just in the Bat titles, it's unfortunate that Calvin doesn't show up, because I think that he'd be a great addition to the family overall. because he has a different perspective. He knows them from the inside in a way that the others don't. And it's even bigger of a crime that Calvin and Dick Grayson never teamed up. They're both Haley Circus boys. They're both, Calvin being the ex-Talon, and them wanting Dick to be their ultimate Talon because, he's the descendant of William Cobb. It's just perfect. It would have been the perfect crossover, and it pisses me off every single day that we didn't get it. So that's my opinions on Talon. I do think that the 18 issues are worth a read if you're at all interested in Calvin or his character or just the story overall. You need something quick to read. It's a little bit of an interesting part of DC history in that time period in the mid 2010s. So that's Talon. Thanks so much for listening. You should check it out. Look at him. He's really cool.
All right. So you heard what Ethan thinks. Me and him kind of share similar thoughts, kind of. Obviously, no shade to Ethan for me disliking this. He's a good friend of mine. Don't think that I'm just being an asshole to him. No. This was it was fun to read something completely new to me. It just it wasn't my thing, and that's okay. Ethan's a good friend of mine. No, he's helped a lot with the channel, just in general, supplying me with a bunch of books and stuff that I didn't have. Obviously you saw him in my Heroes Minicon video, where he gave me a metric fuck ton of Spider-Man books, which I'm still very grateful for. Really good guy. He does a lot of the stuff on the Scarlet Archives. He's the main guy behind the Scarlet Archives, and he also has the Forgotten Era podcast, which I was a guest on. We did a whole episode on Prodigy, one of the identities that Peter took on during the Identity Crisis little event there. So I will link all that in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. As much as I kind of dogpiled on this one, like I said, it was legitimately fun for me to read something new, even though the actual reading experience wasn't great. If you want me to do more stuff like this, let me know. I'm supposed to be receiving a package from Nate at Hollywood Comics. I won a giveaway that he did on his channel. I'm supposed to be receiving something at some point. I don't know when, but I know it's another little mini-series, and I'll probably talk about it. Or maybe I'll just show off what I got. Who knows? But if you want me to read more small runs like this, let me know. I can track it down, or if you really want to, you can send your issues to me, and I will read them. Yeah, thank you for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye now.